Go on, you're not a robot. Get out of here. You're knocking down the barricades. So this is Brobot. He's my new robot. As you can see, he's got ultrasonic sensor. This is an HC-SR04 ultrasonic sensor. They kind of look like nostrils right now. It's got two LEDs that I ripped out of an old computer or router or something. Same with the antennas on his head. His antennas there. The LEDs are ripped also from like the same kind of thing, just out of my junk bin. He's got two continuous rotation servos on the bottom, along with a caster. He also has a regular servo on the front here. This is a Towerpro Metal Gear servo. He also has an aluminum servo horn now holding his head because it was just too much. The weight of the head was too much for a micro servo. As you can see in there, that's the Arduino Uno with a Proto Shield. The battery pack is a 4AA battery pack. That's what powers the servos. The Arduino and the sensors are powered by a 9-volt battery. So what he does here is, well, his body is made out of some cutting board material that I got at Walmart. I just cut it into shape so he kind of looks like a turtle or a bug or something. What he's supposed to do is he rolls fairly straight until he comes into contact with an object via the ultrasonics. Now, flesh isn't the best reflector of ultrasonic, especially rounded flesh like ankles, the legs of my cat, Hagrid. They tend to bounce the ultrasonics in a weird direction, which doesn't return an accurate ping. So he doesn't know exactly how far he is away from stuff sometimes when there's an animal in the way or a human leg. But what he's doing right now is he just turns, and whenever there's an obstacle within 20 centimeters of the front of him, he stops, he looks left, and then he looks right. He computes the distance between any objects to the left or any objects to the right, and you just saw it there. He computes the objects, and he tends to go in the direction that has the most open space. So if he sees something to the left, he'll turn to the right. If he sees something to the right, he turns to the left. so on and so forth. Now, if the obstacles are exactly the same distance or within 5 centimeters of each other, he backs up, turns to the left, and then goes straight. So that's basically what happens is, and when there's, see, again, like when there's a dog in the way, he has a tendency to not be able to tell the distance properly. I believe it's because it's you know, flash, but I'm not exactly sure why his SR04 is being so weird about it. But yeah, he's pretty awesome. He's the first robot that I actively designed from scratch and made him myself. It wasn't a kit. I actually made this. So you can also see whenever he decides which direction he's going to go. If he's moving forward, his eyes light up green. If he's doing anything other than moving straight, which is to say moving right, left, backwards, or stopping, his antennas will flash once and then they shut back off. I have them shut off on their own to conserve power, simply because they draw a lot of juice from the 9-volt, you know, compounded with everything else that's being powered by it. But yeah, this is what he does. He just looks around until he finds an open area and he tries to head that way. I do need to tweak the code a little bit to make him a little bit more accurate. But he works pretty well for now. I kind of try to shape him a little bit like a bug because I wanted to add some future improvements. I'm hoping to add a photo resistor, which will determine the light levels, and if it's noisy, I'm hoping to be able to program him to start avoiding the light as you would have like a cockroach would. But yeah, and see if the obstacles are a distance away but equal within 5 centimeters of one another. He attempts to back up and then turn to the left, and if they're not, if they're a wider distance, then he turns to the direction of the longer distance. Most of this code was learned from a guy on the internet named ChickenParmi. I learned most of my code by watching his YouTube videos, and yeah, it's so funny. I actually play with robots enough that the animals are starting to get used to having robots running around the house. Because apparently I'm some kind of weirdo. But yeah, that's what he does. Cruises around on his own. He decides what's the best way to go. And see, at a weird angle like that, the ultrasonics are being reflected off at the angle of precedence. So, like, the angle of incidence is the same as the angle of precedence. And when he's at a pretty steep angle to an object, it reflects the ultrasonic off in a strange direction that will cause him not to be able to pick it up. But as long as he's straight onto an object, he's pretty accurate within 20 centimeters. And sometimes he bumps stuff. I think I'm going to add like a whisker switch on the front, so that if he bumps the whisker switch, he automatically goes backwards a certain distance and then turns and goes another way. But yeah, that's my new robot. I built him just because I saw some guys on the internet building robots, and I thought, hell, I could do that. So there he is. He's still got some improvements to come in the future. We'll call him Brobot version 1.0. So you know, if you like him, go ahead and click the like button. If you don't like him, click the like button anyway, because I want you to. Thanks.